Let's get started in the chair, setting yourself up so your feet are able to rest onto the floor and your hands can settle into your lap. Let's take a moment here as you arrive to take a deep breath in through the nose and let it go out the mouth. Maybe right now you need to turn a TV off or silence a phone, close a door, whatever you need to do right now to start to carve out this space and this time for your practice. And I know sometimes when we practice at home, it can actually be more challenging because of all the other distractions around us. So if you need to do something to kind of diminish those distractions, please do that now. And then join us when you're ready. Taking your hands, place one hand on the center of your chest. Take your other hand and place it very softly over top. So notice here with your hands that you're not pushing on the chest, but that your hands are resting just very comfortably there. Your elbows can hang down heavy and the shoulders can settle away from the ears. With eyes open or closed, start to tune in to the feeling of the chest rise and fall as you breathe. Start to tune in so quietly, so deeply here that you may even begin to feel the beating of your heart. You might become so tuned in, so quiet that you could hear the beating of the heart. Just like where an ocean and a river meet, the heart is where the blood that flows out and in meet and change direction. So it's like a little um, spiral going on in the heart of the fluid of blood, changing direction, getting kind of revved up, cleaned up, and ready to go back out. And so the heart is this kind of space of uh, change, but not necessarily. We often think of the heart as this hardworking, pumping organ. Let's see if just for today's practice, if you can consider the heart more just simply a space of the change of direction of the fluid that is always flowing, the fluid of blood flowing through, taking nourishment to all the organs of the body, all the tissues of the body, but also taking toxins out of the body, bringing them back in, getting it cleaned. And it's just a space of that action of changing from one direction to the other. You even start to notice in this moment as we tune into the space of the heart, what sort of relationship do you have to this space of the heart? What sort of thoughts sort of percolate up as you start to orient your awareness towards your heart? What sort of feelings do you have? Try as you can to not judge any of these observations, but to just experience it, notice it, and stay present in that feeling of the breath moving through the space of the chest. Maybe feeling the beating or hearing the beating of your heart. Letting go of any to-do lists that might be sitting in the mind. Letting go of the clock or any sense of urgency. But starting to kind of settle into the tempo and rhythm of the breath. and the movement or that changing experience that goes on in the heart, the movement of blood through the heart. Soften through the shoulders. And very easily here as you inhale, let the arms sort of gently float out. They're coming off the heart, opening up, but they don't have to extend in a dramatic way, but just opening gently. And then as you exhale, fold the hands back down over the heart. You might stack them the same way or differently. Notice here if you're feeling distracted at all, recommit to the breath and this experience of opening the hands up and then bringing them back in. Finding what feels like a very natural, easy rhythm of movement through the arms, coming from the guide of the breath, and also that fluid moving to and from the space of the heart. So our arms, right on down to the fingertips, are very deeply connected to the fluid motion coming to and from the heart. So just by moving the arms like this, we help to encourage that blood flow back through that changing space of the heart and then back out through the body. Just a few more times like this. That's why sometimes you'll hear us call the arms the wings of the heart. Beautiful. The next time you inhale, let the arms again come out just as comfortably as you can. They don't need to extend straight out. Good, but sitting up a little bit taller, softening those shoulders, and starting to imagine the blood flowing out from the heart out into the arms to the fingertips. You can bend your elbows as much as you need to take pressure off the shoulders. And from here, as you feel the blood kind of returning to the heart, or even the breath emptying out, curl the fingers in towards your palms. Then, as you inhale, letting the blood flow back out through the arms, feel the fingertips spread wide. And again, curling in. So you're finding your own rhythm here, your own tempo that is residing within the natural flow of breath and blood through the body. A couple more times like this. Feeling the expression of the hands and fingers like a natural extension of the behavior of blood and breath from the heart and the lungs. Beautiful. As the fingertips come into fists, keep those fists and start to circle at your wrist. Continuing to feel motion of breath and that connection to the space of the heart. Good. Let's try the other way. Circle the wrist the other way. Beautiful. Bringing the fingertips now in more towards your shoulders. They might touch, they might not touch the shoulders. That's okay. Lifting the elbows a little bit higher. And again, feeling the heart. So if any moment you start to feel disconnected from that space of the heart, you can take a moment and let your hands rest there again. Actually, let's all do that here for a moment. Bring the hands back over the chest and reconnect to this space and the softness that you might feel coming from connecting to the heart. So I very much when I take a moment to really feel and experience the space of the heart, I can feel my voice lower and my blood pressure calm down and my movement slow. It's a deep way of connecting and calming the whole body. And so from here, from this connection of the heart, slide the hands back out to about the shoulders. So we're still feeling this extension or the wings of the heart through the arms. As you exhale or things start to feel like they're coming back in towards the heart, bring the elbows more together in front. Then as you feel an inhale and an expansion from the heart, open the elbows wide. Again, the elbows come in and this is your own rhythm, your own tempo here. We're not all moving at the same time. And that's a good sign. That means you're really starting to settle and listen to the natural and innate rhythms and patterns of the body. This is how we help the body come into a place of balance and health and healing. Good. Just opening and closing, flowing in and out. Nice. Next time the elbows go out, keep them there. Continue to feel that flow. And we're just going to lift the elbows up and down here. So I kind of think of this like flapping the wings. So it's a little bit of this pumping action through the arms, which helps to stimulate that movement of blood into the space, the changing space of the heart, and then sending it back out. We often think it's the heart doing a lot of the pumping. It has to work really hard, but it really doesn't have to work hard. This is why movement is so important, because movement is what gets that blood flowing through the space of the heart. And we don't have to do intense movement to do that. I actually find gentle, conscious movement is the most effective way to help that blood and lymph and all the fluids of the body pump properly. Good. Next time your elbows lift up, keep them lifted and start to draw some circles there. With the elbows, they can be big circles, they can be small circles. But notice how this movement through the arms, how it's affecting the space of your heart. How do you feel the motion right around the center of the chest or slightly to the left in the space of the heart? Good. Let's try moving those elbows the other way, circling the opposite direction. Remembering that the heart, the organ of the heart, connected to all the other organs, is a three-dimensional organ. So what about behind the heart here, the back of the heart? How does it feel there as you move the elbows in circles? Beautiful. Bringing the elbows back down, sliding the hands back over the center of the heart. Soften those shoulders, soften the elbows, feeling that space of the heart, and really now trying to feel a little behind the heart. So if you could imagine that heart as a three-dimensional organ, and you're placing your awareness behind it, and you're feeling the movement of the heart, the movement of the lungs. Beautiful. From here, we're going to inhale the arms up as high as you comfortably can, then open them out wide and bring them down to the side, sliding them back over the top of the heart. So everything's kind of opening out from the heart and then coming back in. Okay, so we'll do that again. Hands on the heart. As you feel everything kind of expand out from the heart, the arms follow that expansion and they open now as wide as you can, bringing them down and then tucking them back in over the heart. Good, let's keep going. Up and open, down, coming back in. So the arteries of the heart, they take the blood out from the heart, away from the heart, and open it up through the body. And then the veins of the heart, the vessels, bring it back in. There we go. And again, open. And come back in. One more time. Open. And come back in. Very nice. Hands over the heart. Soften the shoulders. Soften the elbows. Stay present and connected with that space. Starting to feel maybe a little bit of a deeper breath now as we're opening up through this space by stretching and breathing and softening. We're creating space around the heart, allowing blood to flow more easily, but also allowing the lungs to take in and expel air more easily. On the next exhale breath, as you breathe out, let yourself draw down and in, curling towards the heart. So even the belly's kind of coming up to the heart, the chin's coming down towards the heart. Then, as you feel your breath inhale and the heart starts to expand back out, you open up, lift the chest up, look up. Finding again your own rhythm, feeling the fluid, the beating of the heart, kind of bringing everything in and then bringing everything back out, lifting up. And we're moving through the spine a little bit here. So you could really experience this motion, not just in the front of the heart, but through the back as well. So everything on an exhale kind of draws towards the heart. Everything on an inhale draws out and away from the heart, opening up and then drawing in. Beautiful. Let's add to this really deep expression. So exhaling, curling everything towards the heart, then inhale and opening everything up. Lift the chest, lift the chin, open the arms, and exhale, bring it all back in towards the heart. Draw everything back in. Beautiful. Inhale, lift it up, open it up. Exhale, drawing back in. Inhale, lifting up, opening up. Exhale, drawing back in. Beautiful. Keep going. Finding that rhythm, that pulse of your movement. We don't need a clock here. We don't need the outward time. We're moving with the rhythm, the natural sync and tempo of the body. Beautiful job. Exhaling, bringing the hands back over the heart, softening the elbows and coming back to sit up tall. Nice. So the heart doesn't only pump out to the arms and down through the organs, but it also comes up into the brain through the neck. We're going to do a little bit of neck movement here, bringing the chin down towards the chest where the hands are resting, then lifting the chin up. And then drawing it down and up. Beautiful. And down. And again, considering or consciously being aware of how this movement is connected to that experience of the heart. Nice. Let's bring the head back to center. Drop the chin then down to the chest, towards the heart, and draw the chin over to the left shoulder, and then back down to the heart, and over to the right shoulder, and back down to the heart, and to the left. Again, at your own pace here, and to the right. One more each side, and to the left. Beautiful, and to the right. Nice. Lift the chin now up towards the ceiling and circle. Feeling that cyclical motion of opening up, reaching away, and then drawing back in. And feeling the connection of that motion to the behavior of the heart, where it draws in the fluid of the blood and then sends it back out. Let's try circling the other way. Beautiful. One more circle like that. Bringing the head back into center, once again, sitting tall. You're welcome to keep your hands here on the heart, especially if you find that very helpful for maintaining this connection to this space. Otherwise, you can let your hands come down onto your lap. But remember, whenever we move the arms, we are connecting through the heart space, right? Everything's connected in the body, but the arms particularly are connected deep to the center of the heart. From here, we're going to take the legs now and just lift both heels up and down. Just like the heart kind of sends everything in and out, we think of that pumping motion, even though it's not really happening from the heart. Well, it is a little, but there's also the pumping of the body that helps move those fluids. We're going to pump through the heels, up and down, up and down. I'm going to challenge you here today as well to try to move your heels as straight up and down as you can. So they're not wobbling out or in as you come up, straight up and down. Good. The next time the heels are lifted, let's circle both heels here in one direction. And then let's try circling it the other way. Moving those heels in the other direction. Then settle the heels down. Now I'll give you a couple options here. You're welcome to keep both feet on the floor, especially if you do have concerns for the knees or hips. Otherwise, you can lift that right leg up, holding behind the right thigh, or maybe using a strap underneath your right foot or thigh. Good. If you have the leg lifted, give it a good squeeze up and into the body. And again, we're going to extend and then draw back in, just like the heart. We're going to reach out through that right heel and extend the leg, then exhale and bend the knee. If your feet are on the floor, you can slide your right foot forward and then bring it back. That's always a good option. Or if you have your leg lifted, keep it lifted, moving from that knee joint, sending fluid through the joint of the knee by this in and out action. So you can kind of think of the knee joint like a little heart, where the action moves in and out of, right? Where the fluid of the body moves in and out of because of this pumping action. Good. Nice. Now let's take that knee up and towards the belly. Give it a good squeeze in. So we're squeezing that leg in. Now, if you have both feet on the floor, that's fine. You could fold over your legs and give yourself a little hug there. We're doing some compression here for the belly, but it's also putting a little bit of pushing upward energy or effort into the heart, sending more blood flow up into the heart where it can be cleaned out. Good. Let's release that right foot down, hands on the thighs or onto the heart, and take a moment. Feel that space. Feel that breath. Soften. Good. Other side. So lifting the left leg up, holding behind the left thigh, or keeping the foot on the floor. We're going to, again, move from the knee, straighten and bend. Leg is lifted or foot's on the floor. Either is fine, but we're looking for some of that extension and drawing back in. The sending out and the bringing back. Good. The cyclical nature of the body, all the fluids flow around and through, passing through organs, joints, lymphs, the heart, up through the brain. All these parts are connected. One big system. Beautiful. Bending that left knee now, giving the leg a good squeeze up to the belly or folding back down over both legs, compressing here, holding and breathing. Nicely done. Release that left foot down. Beautiful job. Hands on the knees now. We'll walk the feet a little wider apart. As the arms go wide, the legs go wide, opening the space of the torso and the hips. Good. But then feeling a bit of kind of a containment in the back of the body. So as the legs go wide, we sort of compress a bit at the sacrum and around the low back and behind the heart. So see if you can feel a little bit of the shoulder blades coming together, supporting the back of the heart. Good. Now remember, all of this movement we're doing today is going to come from and return to the space of the heart. Beautiful. Keep your left hand where it is. Let the wing of the right arm expand out. On your exhale, you're going to sweep that right arm over and reach over the head, maybe bending your left elbow, maybe not. And then we're going to inhale. We're going to come back up letting the hand come back down. We're going to do that a few times. So reaching that right arm out again, reaching from the chest, from the heart up and over, and then coming back down and releasing the hand onto the knee. Finding your rhythm, your tempo here through the space of the heart, up and over and back down. Nice. Let's do a few more. Remember, you have your own tempo. You have your own internal clock. So move at the pace of your body. Good. Beautiful. Let's release that right hand down and come into the left arm. So right hand rests onto the right knee. The left arm now, as you inhale and as the heart expands out and up, we're going to exhale and curve over. There's another expansion as we come back up and another contraction as we release down. So there's a lot going on in that movement. We reach out and up, expanding, and then curving over, and then back up and out, and releasing down. Yeah, there's no rush. We take our time to get the full benefit of the movement, the posture, the experience. Good. Beautiful. Keep going. No holding your breath here. Nothing's going to stop moving. Keep it moving. Good. Nice. Let's release the left hand onto the knee. Very nice. So hands are extended out onto the knees. And remember, we talked about the heart and then the knees being like a second heart. Think about that for a moment. Bring your awareness to the knees and the heart at the same time. And now your hands are there at the knees. And think about a little bit of the fluid pumping through the knees, just like it moves through the heart. These are kind of spaces of change. So it's going from a downward flow to an upward flow here at the knees. Good. Just like it does at the heart. All right. So from the heart space, then keeping the hands on the knees and a little bit of that awareness of the knees, we're going to move the heart in some circles, staying quite upright here. So we're lifting up, staying quite high, really thinking just about moving the heart. Good. Then let's try moving the heart the other way, circling the other direction. Beautiful. Then let that motion still go in the heart. Keep going in these circles, but let it come down more into your belly. Good. And then you might start to feel yourself leaning forward and back, and the motion gets a little bit bigger, but we haven't left the heart space. The heart is coming with us here, and it's actually kind of encouraging or guiding the motion. Hands still on the knees. Everything's connected. Beautiful. Keep that circle going, but let's try taking it back that first direction. Reverse it. Keep it big, moving deep into the body, but guiding from the heart. Beautiful work. Nice. Let's come back into center. Lovely job. Sitting nice and tall again. Bring the hands back up to the center of the chest. Legs stay wide. Knees are right on top of the ankles. Try not to let those knees fall in. Good job. The right leg now could stay bent if that feels best for you, or you might extend the right heel out to the right. So the right leg's a bit more straight. Keeping your left hand on your heart, bring your right hand down onto your thigh. Taking the chest and the heart on that expansive feeling. When you feel that sense of expanding, gently twist to your left. When you feel that contraction, come back into center. Just through the chest. Good. You feel the expansion. We're going to twist to the left And then bring it back into center as you feel that contraction. Good. One more time, we're going to expand out to the left, and we're going to hold the body here, but continue to feel that little bit of kind of drawing in and going out. So moving within that own your rhythm. On your next kind of contraction, start to slide the right hand down the leg. Then on your expansion, slowly glide back up. So right hand goes down the right leg, and we're staying open or twisted to the left. Good. Contracting down and then lifting back up. Good. Beautiful work. Finding your own rhythm will help the body move in a safe way, in a way that is in the best care of your body. Nice. The next time you slide the hand down, just pause wherever it feels kind of available to you to hold. But we're not collapsing down, right? Everything is still has a tone and a movement to it. So even though the body looks kind of still, you can feel the perpetual flow. You can stay here like this, or take that left wing of the heart and expand it out from the heart. Let's bring the left hand back onto the heart and expand back up to seated, returning that right hand onto the heart, coming forward with the chest, stepping that right foot in, pausing, connecting, noticing. When you start to practice from this deeper place of connection to your own kind of rhythm or flow, that's when really good deep healing starts to happen in the body. You can start to feel the body's full connection throughout. So we're moving in a very different way than if we just kind of come in and do all our movements kind of without consciousness or connection. Okay, let's take that left leg now out, extend it out onto the heel, again, just as far as is comfortable. Keep your right hand now onto your chest, your left hand on your left thigh. When you feel that sense of expanding, slowly turn to your right. When you feel that sense of contraction, come back to center. It's an exploration here of expanding and contracting. Beautiful. One more time. Holding the body here as you twist gently to your right, but keeping that little bit of feeling of contracting and expanding, of coming in and sending out. On the next time you feel a little contraction, start to slide down that left leg with the left hand, staying turned to the right. Good. Then as you feel expansion, rise back up. As you feel the flow returning to the heart, you gently glide down the left leg. As you feel the heart send that flow of blood back out, you rise back up. Beautiful. Keep moving with the flow of the heart. Nice. Next time, as the left hand slides down the left leg, just pause to where you feel able to sustain. Good. Holding there, but still feeling a little bit of that pump, that little bit of contraction, expansion. Some of you might extend that right arm out, that wing of the heart out and open. But even there, right into the fingertips, feel the flow of blood. Good. Returning the hand to the heart, the right hand to the heart, expanding back up to seated. Bring the left hand back onto the heart, the left foot onto the floor. Walk the feet forward. Good. Sitting tall here. Try even closing the eyes for a moment. Again, go very quiet. Very still. Bringing the palms together. So feeling the warmth now of the hands, probably quite warm now. Interlace your fingers and gently press those wings forward. You might start to take the arms overhead, or you might not. You might keep them forward. That's okay. But feel again an extension from the space of the heart. So if the heart is kind of contracting all the time here, for feeling a lot of restriction, the shoulders are up by the ears, the arms feel really tight. So soften those elbows, let the shoulders come down, and let this really feel like an opening out from the heart. Beautiful. Now, some of you might stay here like this, especially if there's any concerns for the knees or hips or low back. For those where the knees, hips, and low back are feeling okay, start to press into your feet. And on an inhale breath, you're going to lift up from the chest, from the heart. You're going to lift up and out of the chair, right on up. Your hands to help. Okay. Bend those elbows and go back like you're going to sit back down in the chair, but pause part way down. So you're not coming all the way down. Good. Let's let those arms come down to the sides now. Again, though, feel the arms like a simple expression from the center of the chest. Holding here, gaze is forward, heart is open, shoulders on the back. Good. Feel that softness still in the chest, though. We're not collapsing the chest. It's open. Nice. On your next expansion, let's all rise up, sweep those arms back up. And then open the arms out to the sides and bring them down to your side. Holding here in Tadasana, palms forward, shoulders back. Find the breath. All right. As most of you know, I have a favorite motion here, that little pumping that we do. It is so good, not just for the organs, but the lymphatic system as well, and to just get that energy flowing through the body. So we're going to recreate that pump again. This time, we're starting in the heels. So if you're standing, you're starting in the knees. So remember, the knees are kind of like, think of them like a second heart. And you do this little pumping in the knees, letting the body be quite passive here. So the only real action that's happening in this is this tiny little bend and straighten in the knees. Now, if you're sitting in the chair, the pumping's more in the heels. And you're kind of doing a little bounce off the floor. Also, if you're in the chair, you might pump through your shoulders to get that motion up into the upper body. Good. If you're standing, the pumping of the knees and the passivity of the upper body is usually plenty to get everything moving. So one of the challenges I find when you're standing is to relax around the hips. Soften the belly and the hips, so that you're feeling this pumping action right on up into the chest, maybe into your face. You might even feel it into your cheeks. Good. And if you're sitting in the chair, the pumping is happening here. You do want a little softness in the hips, but it's a bit more vigorous in the chair. Yeah, good. We're going to keep going here. Keep that pumping going. So healthy to do, especially this time of year, the transitional seasons, when a lot of different colds and bugs are flying around. Our lymphatic system is fighting off lots of different things. We want that blood flow all over the body. Beautiful. Let's add some cleansing breaths here. So keep that pumping going and start taking some big sighing exhales. 3 more. Last one. Good. Slowing that pumping down. So no sudden stopping, but a little slower, And then slowly, gently coming back to your Tadasana. Palms open, shoulders back, sitting or standing tall. Sorry, I need a little bit of water there. Beautiful job. Okay, from here, let's bring hands back onto the center of the chest. This is our space today. We are connecting to the heart. We're talking a lot about the physical heart, but there's also the energy of the heart. Good. From here now, If you're standing, try not to lock your knees, but a little soft bend in the knees. And then wherever you are, send your heels a little heavier into the floor. Now imagine this line from your heart to your tailbone. So I think of it kind of like a diagonal line from the upper center chest to the down back center of the hip. Good. Now think of that line getting longer. So it doesn't matter whether you're standing or sitting. Think of that line getting longer because the tailbone is dropping heavy to the earth. So you can kind of feel like the back of your heart is drawing downwards towards the earth. Now the front of the heart, where your hands are softly resting, is lifting upwards towards the sky. And we're getting this beautiful opening through the whole body. Sending the shoulders back to support that back of the heart. So the back of the heart's still drawing downwards, but it's not collapsing down. There's a little support behind it. And the front of the heart is opening, kind of like a flower, sending its petals out and open towards the sky. Now, some of you might stay here like this, especially if you have any concerns for the spine. Working with that line between the heart and the tailbone, between the ground and the sky. If the spine is feeling okay today, continue to send the heart up and the back of the heart kind of down a little towards the tailbone down. Good. And then you might start to curve your heart over, kind of like it's lifting, not just up, but kind of up and back a little. But again, you have that support. You're not collapsing here. Just like you feel expansion and contraction in the front, feel it in the back. We're doing one of these back bends today, so we're going to hold it a little longer, but let that space still be there in the chest and the throat. Try not to let the head just drop back. You can hear the strain in my voice that it causes. So don't do that to yourself. Tuck the chin a little, keep the neck longer. Good. We're going to do just a couple more breaths here like this. Remember, tailbone down, back of the heart coming down, front of the heart opening up. Beautiful job. Feel a lift now back into your centered position. If you need to take a seat for a minute, please do. We've done a lot of work there for the heart. It can get the blood moving a fair bit. So if you feel lightheaded, please have a seat. Release your arms now to your sides, palms open. Big breaths. Nice. Now, if you're standing, I'll encourage you to take the chair to the top of your mat. Now, if you're comfortable coming to the floor, you're welcome to do that. If you prefer to stay seated or come back to seated in your chair, you're welcome to do that too. Good. If you have your chair set up and you're comfortable coming to the floor, you can use your chair to lower yourself down. Okay. And for those who are comfortable coming on your knees, take your knees wide, bring your big toes to touch, send the hips back. We're going to rest the hands on the floor and start to lower your chest down, letting the heart come towards the earth, releasing the forehead down. If you're staying seated in the chair, take your legs wide apart, bring your elbows onto your thighs, and just like if you were on the floor, think of your chest coming towards the earth. It is the heart that is descending down towards the ground. So now the front of the heart is coming towards the ground. And if you're not comfortable coming on your knees, that's okay. You can come down to the floor. If you have a way to get down on your own, that's fine. Come on down and lay on your back. And then take the knees in. So this posture is the only one where the orientation of the heart is a little different. You're going to think more here of the back of the heart coming down to the earth, the heart kind of settling into the back of the body. But just remember here that the heart is a three-dimensional object. It's a three-dimensional organ. So whatever part of the heart that is closest to the earth probably feels a little heavier now because of gravity and all the energy and blood flow kind of coming to the heart. But then we also want to think of the other part of the heart. So if you're on your back, it's the front of your heart. But if you're folded forward, it's the back of your heart. Think of that space being more lighter, open. So just a few more breaths like this. Lovely. If you're sitting in the chair, take your time to come back up to seated. If you're on your knees, slowly ease yourself back up and then come to lay on your back. And if you're lying on your back already, release your feet to the floor. Good. So those who are on your knees, slowly bring yourself onto your back with your feet on the ground. Those who are sitting in the chair, slowly come up to sit up. And then once again, let's bring the hands to the center of the chest. Okay. We're going to come into a twist here. It's going to be a little different for those on the floor than it is in the chair. So for those in the chair, hands are on the chest. You're going to slowly turn your upper body following the heart. So the heart leads the way towards your right and then turn towards your left. So you're doing a little kind of rotation or spiral from one side to the other. If you're on the floor, your chest will stay still. Take your feet wider and slowly take the knees to the right, to the left, and then to the right. And feel the spiral or twist coming through the body and attaching or connecting to the heart. So whether you're sitting or you're lying on the floor, the slow rotation from one side to the other is coming from the heart. Those in the chair, the next time you gently twist to your right, pause there. Maybe letting the left hand come down onto the right thigh. Maybe the right hand extends out behind you onto the chair. Or maybe keep your hands on your heart. If you're lying on the floor, the next time the knees go towards the left, let them stay there. You can keep your hands on your heart here, or you can let those wings open wide. Ease the jaw. Notice maybe just a little bit more softness today. Beautiful. Those sitting in the chair, bring your hands back onto the center of the chest, over the heart. Unwind your upper body and slowly twist to your left. Those on the floor, bring the hands back over the heart. Gently let the knees come back up. And again, guiding the knees over to the right. Feel that full body rotation connected to the center of the heart. Wherever you are, you could expand your arms out. If you're in the chair, the right hand might come to rest on the left thigh. The left arm might come behind you. But you're always welcome to keep the hands on the heart. Beautiful way to stay connected. Those of you now sitting in the chair, slowly bring your hands to the center of your chest and unwind. Those on the floor, bring your hands back up to the chest. Slowly take the knees back into center. From here, if you're in the chair, go ahead and slide yourself to the back of the chair, taking your time to set yourself up now well for your savasana. If you're lying on the floor, you might extend the legs out onto the ground or over some pillows or a bolster, or you might keep your knees bent. Once you have yourself set up for your savasana, take your time. If you want a blanket over top of you, go ahead. If you do have anything kind of on you that's a bit distracting, like earrings or something that you want to remove or a watch, please do that. And we're just going to take a moment wherever you are, whether you're sitting in the chair or lying on the ground. So bring that hand back onto the chest. And with the back supported, so whether you're in the chair or on the floor, your back is supported. Bring all of your awareness to the back of your heart as best you can. And start imagining, even. Maybe you can feel it or imagine it, that there's this swirling action going on at the heart. Just like the ocean meeting a river, there is this meeting space where the fluid is flowing in, churning around, and then flowing back out. There's this little vortex right at the heart, letting the back of the heart now settle deeply within the body. So the whole heart feels encased by the whole body, held and supported. From this place of feeling encased and held, then let your arms release, maybe into your lap, maybe at your side. Close your eyes if it's comfortable for you, and come to rest now in this deeply supported place, this calm, quiet space. And I'll bring us back when it's time to end the practice. body just remain as it is. Use your awareness, your capacity to observe without the eyes themselves, and observe the heart. Maybe for you, it's the physical heart. Maybe you experience that energetic heart. However, you come into the space of the heart, observe the heart, and then start to feel how the heart isn't just this one mm, separate unit, this one separate organ, but it actually is expanded throughout the whole body. It is connected to all the other organs, connected to your limbs, to all the joints and ligaments, connected to the toes and the fingers. It's connected all the way up to the brain and every hair on your head. Feel a whole body sensation of the heart here. And in that experience of the whole body, begin to expand the movement into fingers and toes. But notice how none of these movements are happening independently of anything else, but it's all connected. Maybe you start to turn your head from one side and then the other. Maybe you start to reach your arms out or your legs out. If you're sitting in the chair, you might curl forward and rest your elbows on your thighs for a moment and take another moment of constriction, of curling in, of bringing in. Maybe if you're lying on the floor, you bend your knees and curl the knees to the belly, rolling to one side. Wherever you are, take your time now and make your way to a seated position. There's no rush. You can sit on the floor, you could sit in your chair. However, it feels supportive and comfortable for you. And once in your seat, take one hand again to the very center of the chest, letting it span out over the left side a little towards the physical heart. Take the other hand and expand it over top of the first. Closing the eyes or softening the eyes once more. Go so quiet, so still, that you might feel the beating of your heart. You might hear the beating of your heart. And know that within this heart there is a deep wisdom, smarter than our brains. The heart guides us. Listening to the heart is what brings you to practice. Bowing the head now down towards the heart, giving deep thank you and gratitude towards that wisdom, humbling the active thinking mind towards the quiet wisdom of the heart. Thank you all so much for joining into this practice of yoga today. Namaste.